Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And happy Halloween to everybody out there. Chad Brilliante with you here on this Thursday evening. So much to get to as the Arizona Cardinals get ready for a fun night tonight. San Francisco 49ers should be fun. A team that has been hyped up. For people that don't know right now, San Francisco and the New England Patriots. And the Patriots don't need a pep talk. They're okay. But the San Francisco 49ers, when you've been that team for so long that people are, well, you remember Bill Walsh. When your team starts with, you remember Bill Walsh, and then like anybody in this room, and I'm alongside right now our good friend Jeff Price and Eric Vadrine. But when you're along folks that like, I wasn't born when Bill Walsh was good, or George Seifert or Steve Young and these teams back there when, man, they beat the Chargers in the early 90s. Like when you have to date back 20-something years, like Jerry Jones, we're going to win another Super Bowl. It wasn't yesterday, Jerry. It was a whole lifetime ago. That was the Cold War back then. But when it comes down to these moments, you need to realize that for San Francisco to be this good is something awesome. But for them to be one of the top two teams in the history of the NFL right now in defensive efficiency, tonight they're going to try to prove that more than ever. And you got a quarterback that when Nick Bosa's ready to and for the people that on radio, that was a moment of Baker Mayfield sticking people are like, what is he doing right now? Some haka dance on. But that moment right there is one that we need to realize. The opportunity for somebody like a Nick Bosa to go up against a Kyler Murray. A guy like, he gets another Oklahoma Sooner. Take it out, do it again, do the same Oklahoma. Just take all that energy out on every Oklahoma player, sack him again, and be like, I remember you. You weren't the quarterback, but that was the team. I hate you, Oklahoma. Every week, so far it's 2 for 2 in playing Oklahoma quarterbacks. But this is going to be a fun night tonight. Thursday Night Football has been complete crap. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Happy Halloween. It's been a bunch of pretty much costumes because you don't get the best product on Thursday Night Football. I don't care what you say about the 3.5 day. Coach K and I have had a lot of conversations about the difference between athletes that get 3.5 days rest and 5 days rest, 7 days rest. And it's not even about that. The product itself has just not been good. The games are usually 17-10 turnovers, blowouts. If you look back at all the Thursday Night Football games, they have not been good. Hopefully tonight, for the first time, I think we might get a decent game. I'm getting the nose. I think Arizona's going to keep it close. I'm still getting the nose, and we're going to have some fun. Joining us and having some fun in here, they're going to be hosting the second hour as I will be taking my little butterfly around having some candy. If it's an extra large candy, I will be right there in the foreground, making sure we have it. And having some fun with everybody. I am not dressed as Pee Wee Herman, by the way. People today I've had, they're like, hey, Pee Wee Herman, be like, there's no talking couch. Like, this is actually fake news. And with the hair, I look like the kind of guy that could be driving a van and your kids will run. I'm just putting that. But Jeff Price and Eric Vadrine, two normal dudes, dressed normal, and they'll be hosting the show, having some fun. My team in crime here today. What's happening, my friends? Jeff, I don't have to do the Jeffrey P, Jeffrey D thing today. So, Jeff P, what's happening? And what's going on, buddy?
Can I just come out and say that I was the only one that had a shred of belief in the Nationals?
No, you cannot say
that.
I
didn't, because once we went off air, you asked me that question. I was like, no,
well, you exactly. But here's the deal. You don't have to admit to that, because what happened was you actually are archived saying Nationals, and then it went off air. Remember that? And he's like, I was running out of time. I just picked a team right there. But you don't have to admit that stuff. Shh.
It's kind of like when you submit a
my
test.
Jared Hawker pick. My Jared Hawker pick. Exactly.
We're not going to go that route. But anyways.
Eric Vadrine, by the way.
In a situation like this, it reminds me of, like whenever you submit your test and you're like, oh, no, God, let me get it back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope, you already turned it in.
Yep.
Essentially, he already submitted his answer. It ended up being the good answer. So
see, I never
he
deal with
should
that.
get full credit.
I already had the answer key, so why would I want it back? You see what I'm saying? Like, I already knew that the answers were right.
So
I was
the
guy that purposely missed a few questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoops, I couldn't get 100.
Yeah, too
You
much.
know,
too many red flags.
let's not just make sure they know I'm. Hey, 89 would work
You are a
sometimes.
true
Yeah,
Patriots
that's right. Listen, this outfit is in dedication to the Patriots
but I
today.
don't cheat 100% of the time.
I only cheat
I don't
when I
know.
get caught.
I think it's in there. Look, Bob Kraft, the epitome, the owner of the company. He starts from the Drake is rapped about these kind of things. You know, from the bottom to the top, and from the top right there, Bob Kraft. Look, people thought he was doing some Kraft macaroni and sleaze down in Miami, and all I have to tell you is today he's just sitting up in the booth smiling. So whatever you want to judge, go Patriots. But I want to get to some of the stories going on right now. Congratulations to the Washington Nationals. They truly are the epitome of a team at one point 19-31. 19-31, and they go out there and nobody. This is the year of the underdog, not like the underdog like Waterboy. You could do it, like the team that has no shot. Not a Rudy movie, Little Giants, but a team that actually had a good roster that was underachieving. That was sitting there, and you were like, Strasburg, Corbin, Scherzer. You got the MVP in Rendon. You've got guys out there like Adam Eaton that were picked up in high salary. Juan Soto, an up-and-coming player. Even their bench is full of guys that would start in a lot of teams. Matt Adams didn't play. Looked a little chunky over there. He had a little muffin top going on. But then you got the other guys going on out there like Howie Kendrick, Asdrubal Cabrera. All these guys were picked up as good, solid starters on other teams that were crafty vets, and they helped out throughout the process. And they all had their moment, too. They all had their moment, especially Kendrick. But two things happened in this series. They defined one thing that in all of sports seems inevitable, and it does not matter. It's the one thing. I'm not getting choked up. I'm actually just I was going to say, this isn't like a choked up moment. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, no. I actually just like had a frog. Here's the deal with all of that, though. They define what is momentum in sports. The Washington Nationals define momentum in sports. In all of sports. And I've gotten to live a lot of these moments as a Pats fan, but like against the Falcons, and with the eyes are rolling. We're going to zoom in on here, but let's get a zoom in on Jeff here on TV. Look at this. You're now live on TV. Okay. The one thing, though, is you could remember those moments where all of a sudden a game would turn, and we all remember them, and you're just like, all of a sudden you're up 20 points, and it's a 1-point game, or it's a 5-point game, but you're eliminated. You're up 5, but you're like, crap, man, this is over. This is over. Yeah, it's inevitable.
You mean the Auburn-Oregon game at the beginning of the year when I thought we had it, and then
yes.
Oregon always lets it go.
And that's a good segue. You'll talk to Pat Dye. You can ask him that question, by the way. Choose your words. Yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah, so Pat Dye will come up here at 6 o'clock. We'll talk to Greg Litton as well, coming up here, former major leaguer with the San Francisco Giants. Actually hit a home run in the World Series, so you can. I'll be here for that. I'll have some fun with all the big names here today on the show. But when I remember when watching that game, though, the one thing I'll tell you is the Washington Nationals are the epitome of defying what is momentum. Because think about it. In every one of their series, Joe Buck is already not animated. It could be like, and it's a 3-1 game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Smoltzy, we look over here on the side, and yes, there it is. There's a 3-run homer. 4-3, walk-off World Series win. Nationals win 4-3. It's home run. That's a walk-off home run right there. And you're like, can we show some, let's get some excitement. But I remember watching that Milwaukee game, and it was just cruising. Did you guys watch that, the Brewers versus Nationals game?
I watched a little bit of it.
It was you had Josh Hader. It looked like Hader's the kind of got looks sort of like one of those Bozo the Clown kind of guys, but he was really good. I mean, he was probably the best closer in the game right there with Kenley Jansen, with some of the guys that that just go out and dominate. Kimbrel back in the day, those guys that that they come in and it's lights out. They're going to win the game. Well, they're up 3-1. For him, that's 2 runs, and you have a shot. So with 2 outs, they get an extra guy on base. The old crafty Zimmerman gets on, and then Soto gets that 3-run RBI, quote, single, triple that goes by him, and then the run scores. And they win that. Then they go on to win the series. They continue to build, and they continue to win games they're not supposed to. And they continue to defy everything. Now, the Nationals against the Dodgers, they're not supposed to win. And they found a way. Kershaw late in that game, 3-1. Yep. 3-1, 8th inning. they're just ready to close it out. Everyone's clapping. All right, Dodgers. It's going to be Dodgers versus the Astros, as everyone expected. Boom, boom. 2 straight home runs. And if you went and got peanuts and Cracker Jacks, you're coming back and going, the heck happened, man? Like, what's the scoreboard? It says 3-3 right now. Yeah, they just hit back-to-back home runs. 30 seconds, dude. I went to the bathroom. They took what is a 3.5, 4-hour game, and they created 5 to 10 minutes of stuff that you never see in baseball. And they did it last night. Think about it, Eric. You watched that game last night, and when you look right now at the way that these guys did it, they went out there and they were able – Greinke was dominating them. Dominating. And if anything, Houston left more guys on base. It was 2-0, but it could have been 5-0. And then all of a sudden, a home run from Rendon, which is okay. That's where, like, as a kid, you're like, you know what, buddy? It's okay. That's the MVP. He does that. You're all right. You're a good kid, like a motivation. And you're like, oh, I am a good kid. You get back on the mound. So it's 2-1. You had that talk. So you move on from that. Then you allow another guy on base, and he gets pulled with about probably 30 pitches left in his arsenal, which was a little early. And then all of a sudden, Will Harris comes in. He's barely even warmed up. People are coming back from commercial. They didn't even know what happened, really. If you go back and watch the broadcast, they're like, it looks like a foul ball. It hit the post. It's a home run. 3-2 Nationals. Oh my! Like, in a matter of a 2-hour span, which we were listening to the game here in ESPN Pensacola or watching it, out of nowhere, Nationals are up 3-2. But that's what you never see that. It is like, it goes back to define to me what they did was the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. When I remember I was in college and Kurt Warner's driving down the field and they're about to take a big lead and people are like, man, real deal right here. Old greatest show on turf. Going to do it again for Arizona.
Fitzgerald, and he took like 70 yards back when he had wheels.
Yeah, and then Harrison, whoop. But remember, Harrison takes it back 100 yards, and what was going to be, at that point, it was a 14-point swing right before halftime. And Arizona, remember, they lost on that final Santonio Holmes pass. So think about that. If that 14-point swing doesn't happen, that play in Santonio Holmes is not relevant. And that's what happened, it seemed, the entire series for Washington. And I've never seen it. I've never seen a team that over and over and over defied what is momentum in sports. And it was, Eric, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask you, have you ever been on a team where you were in a situation where y'all got hot at the right moment? Have you?
Not with me on the mound, but yeah.
Well, got you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
we had to defy odds a lot, but we didn't. I mean, yeah.
Everybody knows when you're clicking on all cylinders, the most important thing that happens in those situations is you literally create a belief in that locker room, all 12 people, that no matter what happens, we're not out of it. And you see it time and time again with the Nationals. Every single time their back's against the ropes, they're not uncomfortable because it's something that they embrace because they truly believe in themselves.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I had one run whenever it was my junior year. Everybody on our starting lineup went and played basketball in college, and we were playing against Rico Gathers, who played for the Cowboys,
Baylor Bears, yeah.
And he was still the same size, by the way, when he was playing in high school. It's just a freak. And we played against all these teams that were ranked top 5, and we were beating them. Boom, boom, boom. And it was because every single one of us knew our role, had a belief, and we went in there and we executed. And that's exactly what the Nationals did. And on a grander scheme of things, what I really appreciate with the Nationals is, to me, it shows you how much parity there is in baseball. And that's why baseball is so exciting to watch. There's probably 20 teams every single year, whenever it starts off, where you truly have a belief that you could potentially make something happen in the postseason. In the NFL, it's a little bit smaller. In the NBA, dear Jesus, is it smaller, except for this year because, thank goodness, the Warriors have started to evaporate. In college football, it's a little bit less because of the powerhouses. But baseball, this postseason, showed the overall big picture of just how exciting baseball is.
And Jeff, when you look right now at those games, I really believe that if you're a Washington Nationals fan, you first off took about 5 years off everybody's life. If that the tickets were down. Houston felt it too. That was one thing that people don't understand. The ticket prices went down for Game 7. What city gets to host Game 7 and ticket prices went down and less people show up? And the reason for it is they already felt like they were punched up against the ropes. Think about it. They had lost 3. You expect Garrett Cole to win in Washington because he's Garrett Cole. And they won the other game with Jose, Ukiti. He went out there and made some big plays and did it and really got it done. But overall, what you saw in Houston was Washington won all 4 games, but they'd already won 3. And those fans had watched all 3 of those games be close games and Washington be down, and the starters do a great job, and then the bullpen blow it, and you go, what the heck just happened? And that's exactly what you saw in this game. So they were already down. The ticket prices, less people were showing up, and they did it again like that. And then most people's mindset, just because I've been around baseball a lot of times, when it's a 3-2 game and you're a really good team, you're like, all right, they took the lead. We'll just keep this one close. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're going to keep this one close, and then maybe we'll get lucky for a run. And most of those times, those teams start fading back, and they'll keep it 3-2. They kept attacking, and then it was 6-2. And then you go, well, crap, this game's over. But that's what happened. They never allowed. Houston was the ultimate warrior that kept on. They kept pushing away. And, man, Washington did something I've never seen in a long time in a World Series.
Well, usually when the underdog takes the lead, and in college we had the same thing, we were kind of the underdog to a lot of teams, and so we take the lead, and the first thing we want to do is hold on to that lead. We're just like, all right, now let's just try not to screw it up.
Yeah, you're playing not to lose instead
Right.
of playing to win.
And
which
then
I
what
can't
happens?
stand.
You end up losing the ball game by 1 or 2 runs.
Because you
and
play
go back.
scared.
Right, when you had them on the ropes, like you said. And the Nationals, for all purposes, should have been that team that was like, all right, let's just hold on to it. And they didn't. And I don't know if the Astros maybe thought that's what was going to happen, or like we talked about yesterday, the Astros have one of the most talented rosters. They should have won the World Series. But should doesn't get you anything in any kind of sport, period. And I think for the Nationals, it was like you were talking about earlier, playing basketball and beating these guys that you really maybe shouldn't have beat. But it's just a mindset. And they just said, we're not going to lose, just simple as that. And when you look at it, it's pretty fun. I mean, it was one of the most exciting World Series I've ever seen in my life.
Especially if you're a Washington fan.
Right.
Kate Upton, not so much. When we come back, we're going to get to more on what's going on right now. It is Thursday Night Football. Thursday starts it back. Before we get that Tuesday and Wednesday action and also Sunbelt action, Thursday's still the day. It's like, it's football. That's what it is. I feel like if there was a slogan, Monday is, are you ready for some football? Like Thursday's like, yep, it's football. We got football. I know NBA, NHL, but it's football's on. Tonight you got San Francisco and you got Arizona. It should be fun to watch. Kyler Murray and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Top 2 picks.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need to know. The pride of Eastern Illinois. Can you name 2 other Eastern Illinois quarterbacks? We'll ask you guys that during the break because there are more Eastern Illinois quarterbacks that have the highest percent efficiency rating right now than any other college in the history of the NFL.
I think I could name them.
You probably can name one. He's probably golfing right now in Texas. We're coming back for more right here. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1, and also on Blab TV.
Welcome to Bold! Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. Snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
Guys, the secret is out. If you want healthy sex, your body needs nitric oxide. And now you can boost your nitric oxide production faster than you thought possible with Ageless Male Tonight, the absurdly fast formula from the #1 brand in male enhancement. Just take 1 capsule an hour before romantic activity. You'll get clinically tested ingredients that rapidly boost nitric oxide production, and it won't go unnoticed. Rush to Walmart and get Ageless Male Tonight.
Imagine having a luxury hotel quality bath in your own home. That's what you'll get with Bath Fitter Pensacola. Bath Fitter will install a beautiful luxury tub in as little as 1 day. There's no demo, no mess, no stress. With thousands of options to choose from, custom design a bath you'll love. It's under warranty for as long as you own your home. With over 35 years experience and more than 2 million satisfied customers, Bath Fitter makes upgrading your bath easy. Visit bathfitter.com today to book your free in-home consultation or call 429-1777.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where